only knows Senor Valdez.
Yeah, he's an unknown quantity.
So we don't know. You know, I've been playing these tournaments a long time. I've never seen him before. So we'll see what his game is like, and I'm sure Marco really wants to see what his game is like.
Yeah, I don't know that he's played too many of the tournaments on the East Coast. I know that he plays a lot of the tournaments in the Midwest. So, what's that?
Talk about the top.
Yeah, the top seed, Marcos. Yeah,
we're looking at a really busy weekend, and it's actually a packed draw here. So everyone out there watching and listening, it's going to be a really amazing weekend. We have the top of the top. This is our Masters Series. So it's the U.S. Open of the GLTA circuit is happening this weekend. We have some great seeded players that have made their way to Washington, D.C. this weekend. Marcos Valdez, we are watching right now in the warm-up. He is the top seed this weekend.
I don't think it's appropriate for John to talk about the next seed here. Number 2.
John, number 2, really?
Yeah, so this is a scout for me too, you know?
Yeah.
This could be if I even make it past my
He's
first
waiting
round.
with bated breath.
This is a good scouting session. So I'll take the number 2 seed. 3 seed is Steve Petranek from Fort Lauderdale, clay court specialist. Played him many times, many rumbles.
Yeah, 4th seed is Tom O'Connor. I don't really know too much about him.
Tom,
but
tough. If you guys get to watch Tom,
backboard, I think is what I've heard about him. The 5th seed, McCartan Ackerman, is actually playing on the court next to Marcos and Marco, and he's actually struggling a little bit right now, but he's starting to find his range a little bit.
First set was 6-1. Looks like a potential upset. So we'll keep an eye on McCartan and let everyone know out there what's going on. 6th seed is Jamar Wright, who my buddy Jake has to play first round, so another toughie.
Right, he just won a tournament in Philadelphia not too long ago on hard courts, so he should be in top form. 7th seed here is Ron Grimsby from New York.
2 hands off both sides. If you guys get to watch Ron play, he's very Monica Seles. That's his alter ego on tour.
Yeah. And then rounding it out is the number 8 seed, Robbie Cow.
Moo.
That's stupid.
Robbie Cow. Robbie is the oldest person on the GLTA tour.
At 105 years old.
He's 105. The Kamiko Date of the tour. No. Robbie's been playing these for 12 years now. He started in the B's. So he's a veteran. A veteran tour de force coming your way, ladies and gentlemen. So stay tuned.
Marcos and Marco are actually wrapping up their serves right now, and they're putting their finishing touches on their game, and they're about to get started.
I think it might be confusing for all the viewers out there. So
confusing to me, I have to admit.
When we say Marco and Marcos, so we'll just say the guy in the navy shirt. Oh wait, once again, that's also the Latina.
Latina
one more time.
White shorts, navy shorts.
Short shorts. Well, wait again. Once again, we're stumped here. No, they're not brothers. This is not Serena versus Venus, everyone, either. We will try to differentiate. One is the top seed and one is not.
Also want to give a shout out in the chat room. Bobby Sharp, Brian Conrad, Dwayne Hines. Thanks you guys for joining us in chat and sharing your comments. Make sure, guys, remember the chat room is open, so you're more than welcome to give your comments in chat. Comment with the commentators here. I'll let them know what you said and do your well wishes as well.
It's about time for first ball action. How exciting.
It's very exciting.
We haven't played our first round yet, so I'm feeling the excitement. Actually, he doesn't look very excited right now.
No.
Well, it's kind of windy. If everyone out there, you don't know the conditions right now. But
Valdez is starting to serve. Start it off. I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of exchanges like that going forward.
Well, Marco's player profile, Egoavil from New York, who's receiving, he's definitely a described counterpuncher. He likes to get a lot of balls back. That's his game. He's going to try to get as many balls and frustrate his opponent today, but it looks like we're seeing a similar playing style, so this could be... You're right.
Fault there from Valdez, and it's 15 all. Something about the first round match is always really, really nerve-wracking.
Gosh, you never know. If you don't know your opponent and you wake up in the morning, in your long inside a morning. Do you think you'll ever make it on time? By the time you get your books and you give yourself a look? Sorry, that's Saved by the Bell reference.
And the fact that you mentioned it and yet you watched it, I'm not sure what that says.
I'm in my mid-20s, you know? I saw it in rerun. No, I wish.
Mid-20s my ass.
It's 15:30.
It's always good to start out with a break. That would be a big confidence boost for the unseeded player.
That's out. So it's 15:40. A couple of break points here early for Egoavil.
It looks like they're feeling each other out right now. They're doing a little, they're just getting some balls in. You don't want to start off with some crazy unforced errors just to get a feel of the court.
That ball didn't come up at all for him to hit.
Conditions right now are slightly breezy. We just had a passing shower.
I think is a good word.
Tempestuous.
Keep getting a lot of gusts of wind out of nowhere.
Still breakpoint opportunity now for Egoavil.
That forehand goes long and it's deuce.
That's going to be his money shot today. He prefers the forehand over the backhand. He's not going to rely on his serve, but he has really great court speed. He's not a big fan of the clay, but we're going to see how he slides today. Oh.
Ooh, net court. Nice passing shot by Egoavil, and it's another breakpoint opportunity. That's one really good thing about Marco's game is just how fast he is and how he gets around the court so quickly.
We practiced this week, and you'd be surprised that, I describe myself to be a little more aggressive and to hit winners, and he gets a lot of balls back. I think that's what really troubles his opponents. So it's troubling our top seed right now in this first game.
That backhand top spin shot goes into the net, and that's a break for Egoavil. 1-love.
We're going to swap sides. I can already tell that this is an opponent that I would probably rather, drive a nail into my arm.
John, you would rather drive a nail into your arm than play on clay to begin with. So, and particularly these courts, I'm not very fond of them. They're very, very difficult. We've practiced here yesterday, and it was like playing in a dust bowl. I actually made the comparison to playing in a desert with no oasis. It's really, really horrible.
I think the rain helped the clay a little bit today. It's going to harden the courts out. Anybody who are clay court fans, it's a great facility out here in Washington, D.C. It's a beautiful park. The sun is actually coming out now, so it's going to favor the players a little bit. But the courts itself, any public facility, that's the crazy thing about tennis. We have to adapt to different courts and different playing styles. So we'll see how it plays out today.
That goes wide, and it's 15-love. It's a really good shot from Valdez.
Valdez seems to use his angles really well. He's moving the ball around the court. I think that's going to be his plot line today to try and win this match. Seems like he has really good ball control, which is always good to start out that way. He's had some opportunities to really whack a backhand or whack a forehand, and
He's playing a little nervous at the moment. But
Seems that he's going more for the percentage shots at the moment, which is, the thought of a smart player. He is the top seed. He's earned it, so we'll see how.
That's a good shot from Marco to get up 30-15 in this game.
Starting to see the sweat. I'm already sweating. I'm nervous for these players already.
He's trembling over here. Trembling.
Similar playing styles. We're gonna see a lot of points like this.
Just long from Valdez, and it's 40-15.
I get the feeling that this is like a first date. Like they're feeling each other out right now. It's just like they just met. They're at a bar. They don't know if they should go get appetizers or if this is going to lead to the rest of the night. They're just, I don't know, it's a little, I'm feeling like this could turn into a.
Yeah, no one's really making a move.
It's
a little awkward. It's maybe
it's
like
two Christian girls, it's just. Oh, there we go. There's some pace. Got to give him kudos for trying, though, at that moment. I mean, I think he's realizing, he's getting a sense of what Marco's about to give to him, and it's a mirror. I think he's looking in the mirror.
Man in the mirror.
I was doing Justin.
I was saying Michael.
That's fine. You're older than me, so.
Actually, that's not true. But
it's twice I tried to get away with that today. Damn it.
I know. The lady doth protest too much, I think, about her youth. Goes just long from Marco, and it's 15 love. Goes over the fence even. And all our fellow players are too lazy to go get the ball.
It's because they are riveted with this match right now. We have the top seed in a little bit of danger just down a break. If you're just joining us, welcome to the Capital Classic 2013 live from Washington, D.C. I'm John Garica. I'm here with my best friend, Jake Bishop. Hello. It's a little breezy. But luckily for us, the clay has recently been watered, so there's not a lot of dust flying right now.
Mike Baker says they don't like our clay courts. And Dan says Marcos is undefeated in GLTA singles.
That actually doesn't surprise me that Marcos would be undefeated. His game is really nice. It's really pretty to watch. But at the same time, he's playing a nightmare in Marco. He just gets everything back, and it's a little machine out there. That's really nice.
Great shot from Egoavil. I'm really liking the way this is playing out right now. I think this is This is a really good first test.
Yeah, I mean, for somebody who claims he doesn't like clay very much and that his game doesn't translate very well to clay, I mean, he's playing very, very well and using the clay for all his strengths.
Confusion with the score here.
Can we tell them the score?
Is it allowed? Double break point. This is huge for Marco to start out, to take a 3-love lead here, a double break. Doesn't look like their serve is going to factor in today anyway, except for, right on cue. Great job.
That ball took such a wicked bounce off of the line. It shot up maybe 3 or 4 feet over Marco's
Was it a
head.
wicked bounce, Jake?
Was it wicked? Bounce.
It was wicked.
Quite literally bounced over his head. Yeah, that was not going to come back at all.
30-40. Break point for Egoavil to take a 3-love lead here in this first set.
And that's the break. So it's a quick 3-love lead for Marco, the unseeded player. And this is going to be a dogfight, I'm pretty sure, just looking at it.
He's definitely dug his feet into the clay right now. He's here to win. You love that, though. You want that fight first round. They seem both pretty reserved, actually.
Well, I mean, Marco, too. I think he's pretty reserved in general. He's pretty even-tempered person. So, but it's really impressive how it's going so far. Just the long points and just really using the clay to his advantage, making Valdez hit a lot of shots and a lot of hard shots, and just sort of getting the ball back deep.
I think we could sense that third game just now. If you guys maybe feel the same way I do, I think he knows his back is against the wall right now. He picked up the pace a little bit with those shots. I think he was trying to make a little more. He knew that maybe getting into rallies with Marco probably wasn't the best thing, but that's what every good player does. They adjust their game. We'll see how he does with Marco's second service game of the match.
That's just something that I think, too, that especially at this level of tennis, I mean, you don't really have to be pounding the ball every shot to be an effective player on.
Tell that to Serena. Jake and I went to the U.S. Open on Saturday. We got to watch Serena absolutely annihilate Lina.
Poor Lina.
We tried to get some helpful hints, but
This doesn't look thrilled right now. He gets the double fault, and it's a love 15. Slight opening.
I don't know if there was a gust of wind or maybe he looked to the sun. Really, it's the skies have opened up here. It's been a little cloudy morning in DC, and the skies are now Smurf blue.
Ooh la la blue.
Smurfette blue.
Missed an easy shot, and it's a quick love 30. What am I doing, says Marco.
I like that he knows this is a big game. I mean, to consolidate this break and to go up 4-love would make Valdez know that this match is gonna go for the long haul.
That's a long forehand. I think sometimes, when you get up a double break and you kind of feel like you didn't maybe earn it, and the other person kind of handed it to you.
I think he earned it, though. I think Marco made him hit a lot of balls.
But I think also this has definitely been a nervous start from the top seed, and I think that sometimes when that happens, it's hard to keep your concentration. And
it's a lot of pressure to be the top seed of a tournament. You're here,
too.
I've done it. I've cracked under pressure many times.
Not sure I remember being a top seed at a tournament.
Well, you're not a top in general, so that's probably why. That's probably why that never happened to you.
Oh, you're funny.
game point here.
No, that was game, actually. It's 3-1.
3-1.
Oh, bad bounce.
Bad bounce. He twerked at the end there, so you can
He
see
did do a
the...
little twerk. It's just Miley. It's just Miley on the court here.
Marcos being Miley. Oh, he's going to... Either way, he won the point.
The ball was definitely long, just slightly long.
He can play martyr, or he can say it was out. Either way, he won it.
15 all here.
Or for our Hispanic listeners out there, 15 iguales. I think Egoavil is smart to pick on the backhand. If you notice that pattern, it was forward to the backhand, short, then goes for the forehand. Valdez sees the opening. He wants the forehand, and he just, unfortunately, wasn't ready for it. 15-30. Great rally. It's a fantastic rally, actually.
And you notice on that point how many times Marco makes you reset and start the point over again.
I think against a lot of players that would have maybe been a lot shorter point, but Valdez also showing how his consistency is going to be to his favor.
It's back even. It's 30 all.
What brand is he wearing? What shirt is that, by the way? Who's he sponsored by?
Maybe K-Swiss.
The Viras von Areva of the...
If anybody out there can tell us what brand shirt he's
if you can
wearing,
actually message us if you're watching this broadcast.
So it's 3-2. Egoavil is still up a break. Seems like Valdez is storming back here.
He's won a couple games. Momentum has been quietly shifting. We'll see if he can hold here. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back 3-2. We're watching the first round of the Capital Classic 2013. Marcos Valdez, the top seed, versus Marco Egoavil.
I want to give a thanks to our sponsor, Brandon Green and Companies. Brandon Green and his team of realtors are longtime supporters of the Capital Classic and have helped many home buyers and sellers throughout the Washington, D.C. area since 2001, including several members of the Capital Tennis Association. Their mission is to create extraordinary experiences that move the lives of their clients forward. What makes them different from other realtors is the focus on you, your life, and how real estate is a tool to help you transfer something in your life. To find out more about Brandon Green Companies, visit their website at brandongreen.com. We want to thank them for their support of the CC Sports Network.
back. Egoavil to serve. 3-2, first set. The wind has picked up here, Jake.
It's really, really bad. Not looking forward to playing in it.
Extra commentary. This is the extended version.
It goes long. It's 15-all.
It's interesting to see Valdez's strokes. If anybody out there, obviously he's the top seed of an open tournament, so he's earned that right. If anyone notices the stroke formation that he has on the backhand, it's a very compact swing, but on the forehand he takes a much bigger loop. Interesting to see how that kind of came about in his youth. I think most players actually have that difference.
And in case you guys were wondering what that scream was during the middle of that point, it's become a dogfight on the court next door between McCartan Ackerman and Dwight Kornbluth. McCartan actually lost the first set over there, but then appeared to have come storming back in the second. So Dwight is a little frustrated.
It's a nice forehand put away. I think he's finding his rhythm now.
I think so too.
I never want to feel like things are shifting, but I think Marco needs to make a statement here and break this momentum.
15:30 here. That sails long. It's 30-all here. Good serve. I think it bounced off the line. I think it was. I don't see a mark. We're standing right on that line. I don't see a mark anywhere.
This is 4-3, 40-30 rather.
It's a 3-2 game actually. So he's still up the break, but
40-30, 3-2. Egoavil serving for a 4-2 lead. I just want him to take that short ball, though.
Gets back to deuce there.
I think missed opportunity for Marco. I think when he watches his back, he might. His game is a beautiful, beautiful game. And the way he opens up the court, you just kind of want him take a good stab at it sometimes and be a little aggressive. Brings us back to deuce, second serve. Sun has gone away, but the wind is now a point of contention.
That's a nice shot there.
Another short ball for Valdez.
Difficult with the wind. I mean, it's not really hitting any of the wind consistently, but then because of the gusts, they keep coming, and so his ball keeps getting caught into the wind and popping up short for Valdez to just put away.
Neither player is really hitting through the ball. This is going to favor the players that we're watching now with more topspin, getting more balls in. This is a great serve. And aggressive.
Really aggressive. And
maybe he heard us.
I think he may have. We're sending...
I'm taking credit for that shot.
I think he knows what he has to do. I think he knows that he was getting caught with a couple of short balls here. And
I think Egoavil plays the Valdez backhand and continues to mix it up. I'm going to guess to say that Valdez is just working out some nerves before he really finds the game that he wants to play today.
Really nice shot. I really like that point from him because he hit all sorts of different shots during the course of that. A really high looper ball to get Marco back. Pins really almost to the fence. And that really set up the point for him.
Valdez really wants to put away that short forehand. He's trying to draw the short ball from Egoavil. Get that short forehand, put away the ball. Now it's a break point for 3-all.
Yeah, that's really frustrating.
Just comes out of that just a little bit. Back to deuce. Exciting game.
You knew from the minute these two took the court that it was going to be exactly like this. These long, drawn-out rallies. This little single white female open here. They're kind of like looking at...
Similar playing style, similar names, similar color scheme today. Yes, they're...
Which one do you think is Bridget and which one is Jennifer Jason?
Maybe the viewers out there don't know what movie you're referencing.
I think every gay person knows what single white female is.
Yeah, but not every gay person is as old as you are.
It came out in the early 90s. Bridget Fonda, Jennifer Jason Leigh. The basic premise of the movie is that this girl had a twin sister who died, and she's been wanting to find a replacement for her twin sister, and so she moves in with Bridget Fonda and goes insane. And starts emulating everything.
What an awesome story, Jake. What a great, fantastic movie plotline. Back to the action here. He holds.
He holds the serve. And that, he held the serve, which means he's probably a little more the Bridget Fonda character.
Gosh.
A little less of the Jennifer Jason Leigh. I mean, he didn't die after all. So he holds and it's 4-2.
No death. The only death out here is losing first round. That's but there's always resurrection. It's called consolation. Looks like they split courts on court 2 as well. McCartan Ackerman and Dwight Kornbluth are in a third set. Another action. We see him
scurry off the court.
Egoavil's giving Valdez a first serve, and also a not very nice headshake. Not happy with that.
What is gay tennis without a few eye rolls? I mean, let's face it.
Eye rolls, orgies.
Little hand to the face, eye rolls, and of course, let's not forget the orgies. goes long. Another really extended rally.
The listeners and viewers out there are definitely watching a treat. It's Arantxa Sanchez Vicario versus Arantxa Sanchez Vicario. That was a foot fault, just so we know, Mr. Valdez. Ooh. We also call that really bitchy, that last one. I love that.
You never really see that happen.
When do you ever
often.
see a racket extended over the net like that? That was
no,
kind of,
yeah.
You never see
it was
that.
Totally within the rules what he just did.
Control.
He reached over the net and just sort of, because the ball had bounced on his side and then bounced back because of the wind over onto Marco's side, he just sort of tapped it over as we see McCartan trot across their court. I think I would freeze in a moment like that. I'm not sure exactly what I would do. I'd probably end up hitting the ball 15 feet out.
There's so many options, right? Do you smack it? Do you...
Yeah, I think the temptation is to be as cute as possible when something like that happens, as you see a really nice backhand inside-out winner.
We haven't seen a lot of winners. We're not going to see a lot of winners in a matchup like this, but I think both players are really taking the opportunities here. We don't see a lot of unforced errors. This is a very clean match so far. Most have been forced errors.
Valdez plays extremely fast.
He's staying on the line again. I guess it doesn't make a difference if he's not serving volleying, but...
You need to get a USTA official out here. You are not qualified to be doing this.
We have thousands of viewers right now watching this right now. They can freeze it. They know what I'm saying.
You know, there's actually nothing more frustrating than making a big deal out of foot faults at this level of tennis.
Agreed.
This coming from somebody who is a notorious foot faulter.
You do foot fault a lot.
I'd venture to say 70 to 75% of the players at this level foot fault on a regular basis. It just happens. It's a really nice shot.
Great point. You can see that Valdez is finally picking up on what he needs to do. It's going to be these long extended rallies, but Valdez is being a little more of the aggressor now.
You're watching live coverage of the 21st Annual Capital Classic Tennis Tournament here at the East Potomac Tennis Center, brought to you by the CC Sports Network, where diversity lives, and presented by the Brandon Green Companies.
It's a really nice passing shot to secure the game and get back into this at 4-3. But Egoavil is still up a break.
For those of you who have never been to the Capital Classic here in Washington, D.C., I definitely recommend you all come check it out. Matt Feinberg is the tournament director, happens to be a good friend of ours, and we want to congratulate him and his team on, so far, a great start to a really fun weekend. The first day is always the buzz day anyway, right?
It's true, because people are still in and still care about the tournament.
It's true. Everyone is, you have full draws. We had a great turnout for the draw party last night. DC is a great place for diversity. Lots of fun places to go out in town. Always fun things to see and do in town as well. So I recommend coming next year if you are listening at home. They always do a great job here.
Yeah, next year I think the A divisions and maybe the C divisions will be on clay, and the open divisions and B divisions will be on hard court. They switch every year. They do it the opposite.
It's one of the few tournaments that have one big facility with multiple surfaces.
It's actually, I think, a necessity for these tournaments. I mean, you have so many friends and people you like in different divisions, and it's hard to get a chance to watch everybody whenever you've got the B division playing one place and the Opens in another place. So that part of the tournament's really nice.
We're starting. It's 4-3. It looks like Egoavil has put his Samantha Stoser shades on.
It did get sunny out here all of a sudden.
That's not good for us. It doesn't bode well because we play next. So if we're getting a good indication.
Yeah, my
of what's
lesbian
to come.
shades actually don't look as good as his either. They don't have a band. Well, his don't have a band in the back either.
No. But Samantha Stoser looks so hot in those shades, though.
Samantha Stoser, I feel like I would maybe turn for her a little bit she's so manly.
Can we get some comments on Samantha Stoser? I know she crashed out against Victoria Duval. If there's any lesbians out there watching this match right now, I don't know why you would be watching this match, lesbians. If you're here, wait, good morning. There are women at this tournament as well. There's a lot of women, actually.
We can't just put a naked picture.
There's one on the court right now.
And that sails long from Marco, and that's a love 15 hole to start out with. But you're right. There's something about, well, if you were to put, say, Sam Stoser next to Kirsten Flipkins, for example, both of them wear the glasses, but Sam Stoser just knocks it out of the water. Like, who wore it better? Sam Stoser every time, 88% to 12%.
Actually, if we look on the next court, you have two players wearing shades as well. Never something I could do. Shades on the court, or I think you just have to kind of get used to it, or never something I practice with.
Well, I definitely brought mine with me just in case, but I really would prefer not to use them. They always break when I use them. They always fall off my face.
Yes.
So. 15 all here. Egoavil serving 4-3.
Shot.
That goes long.
Moving the ball around again.
It's really difficult to adjust being on different sides of the court with the wind like this, gusting and being so inconsistent. Sometimes you can get better dialed in if there's a consistent wind, even if it's stronger. Right now it's just very gusty.
I really think the wind was stronger than yesterday.
Another one goes long.
Yeah.
And it's break point here. 2 break points to get back on serve at 4-all. This would not be gay tennis without a whole lot of screams going on at all times.
All over the courts. Oh, drop shot
all
here.
over the world. That's really well done. Let's see here. That's pretty crafty.
It's tricky. Tricky. Good for him.
After my
feel
WTA
though.
alter ego page out of her book, Agnieszka Radwanska.
Oh, yes.
Little drop shot,
you
lob,
love
drop
Aggie.
shot combo.
Aggie Radwanska. For those of you out there who don't know Jake, that's his favorite player.
Such a patented trademark. I'm coming from the IP lawyer and I'm mixing up my illusions, but it's a very good shot of hers, and it was a really good combo from Valdez.
No, it's good. I think it's a good clay court tactic too. You know,
Well, especially whenever you're getting dialed, Marco's getting dialed in with this consistent ball that he's hitting, and just to mix it up a little bit like that was a great idea. Yeah, he's really struggling on this side. Now it's really still outside. The wind has stopped, so it's hard to maintain a rhythm. 15 love here. Really aggressive forehand from Egoavil to get back at 15 all. He's definitely doing a little heavy breathing. Not to say he's not fit, but he's just been running a lot.
They're playing a lot of points and they're playing a lot of balls. It's 4 all, 15 all. It's a first round. You got the top seed a little nervous right now. You got an unseeded player who's now feeling like he can hang with a top seeded player.
He's played pretty impressively. I mean, he's not been afraid to kind of just hang in points longer. And
I like
that goes long.
Sails long. I think that's the play. You want to attack both players' backhands is what they should be looking to do. 15-30. Valdez serving to Egoavil. He just moves that ball around so beautifully. You really want to stay away from that forehand, especially hitting down the middle, because he's creating lots of opportunities for himself. Egoavil's done a good job at keeping it mainly to the backhand. I think that's what's rewarded him at this 4 all right now. It's 4 all 30 all? Is
4 all 30 all.
All right. It's a rumble.
Complaining about the wind.
Huge point here.
That skids off the line and goes into the net. 40-30.
It's 30-40 actually. Break point, Egoavil to take a 5-4 lead here in this first set, to serve for the first set against our top seed.
Just long.
20-stroke rally. It's going to take a lot out of both of our players.
There's some huffing and puffing going on here for sure.
Well, I don't think Arantxa would ever want to play Arantxa. It's not her ideal opponent. So
it seems like a bad comic book or something. Like
Arantxa v. Arantxa.
Yeah.
Superhero with.
That was long.
You called it long?
It was long.
Oh. Was that good?
Little clarification.
Marco thought he'd won that game.
Oh,
it was a close shot, but it was barely out. It was, but I could see it from here even. So. Tit for tat. Now we've got another break point for Marco. It really surprised me how quickly he plays after these long points.
He's in great shape. I mean, I hit with him this past week, and
oh, not Marco. I was talking about Valdez.
Both players.
But, I mean, they're both in good shape, of course. But that ball skimmed over the net.
5-4. And you could see the frustration for Valdez. But we have Marco Egoavil about to serve for the first set in the first round.
And I think that the impressive thing to me is just, I think sometimes, especially when you're playing a seeded player in an Open or an A or one of these, even any division that you are playing up in, maybe, you feel a pressure to sort of hit harder. And Marco hasn't done that. He's sort of just played his game and not felt any pressure to do more than like extend himself outside of himself.
I think
that it's really rewarded him.
I think that even that first break to start the match, once you get on the board against someone that you're not supposed to beat, you feel like the pressure's off a little bit. You're on the scoreboard. I can hang with this guy, and I think he's played a great first set. Actually, it's very entertaining for both players. Valdez has broken Egoavil the past 2 service games.
Classic's actually one of the best tournaments for food on court too, or not on court, but during the.
Are you Marion Bartoli? I know you like to eat. I do know you like to eat. I've seen you pull lots of food out of your bag.
It's true.
On court anyway.
It's definitely true. But no, they offer
a sponsored
meals
lunch.
Both days.
Yes.
Which is not something that most tournaments do. They usually do one day and it's pizza, which no one really cares about.
There's a massage therapist here as well.
A free massage therapist, although it's a woman. But
it is a woman. She looks really strong, though. Maybe she's Eastern European. They've offered a statistician as well this tournament. Another cool feature. They have third set hand jobs. That's every standard tournament, of course, on the GLTA tour.
And you can see that he's fault there. Might be feeling the pressure a little bit here. Goes just wide. Some masculine screams for once. From the courts.
It's love 15.
Aggressive shot from Valdez. Watching his return game, I really think he's missing a couple opportunities off of the Egoavil serve, which just kind of comes in a lot slower than his other ball. I think he could step in and hit some harder returns. Maybe wouldn't be in this mess, being down 4-5. That was a nice return.
I think he heard you.
And 3 break points here to get back on serve again at 5-all. And we're back on serve, 5-all. Opening round match. It's Marco Egoavil taking on the top seed in the Open division, Marcos Valdez. And it's a dogfight like we thought it would be. It's 5-all in the opening set.
If you're just joining us, welcome to the 2013 Capital Classic. We're joining Thomas in the booth today. I'm John Garica alongside Jake Bishop. This is a very entertaining match. 5-all, first set, first round, first day, first date.
The excitement in the air.
It is.
Oh, if we're going to go through that analogy again of this being a first date, this is getting very awkward. You like catfish? I like catfish.
Yes. They're very even right now. They're still...
You like tiramisu? Shut up. I do.
I'm a Capricorn. You know Robert? I know Robert.
Oh, it goes just wide.
Both have seemed to struggle on serve today. I know that feeling very well. I also tend to struggle with my serve. I would much rather return. If I could return every game, I would be a lot happier.
It's true. I think I would prefer to return a lot more than playing my service game, especially these days. Service.
Well, the game itself is, you know, especially the men's game, is so catered around the serve, and we don't have that.
I know.
So
let's be honest. We're more akin to the women's game.
Maybe that's why we like women's tennis so much more. We feel like we can hang with the ladies.
Oi! Hits the tape and
You got to
falls
sense
back on the side.
any player that's going to hold here, I think, is going to have the advantage. I think that's what they're looking to do. Neither player has really held serve consistently throughout the match. If Valdez can hold serve here, you got to like his chances to break Egoavil for the 4th time in a row.
I think you're right.
So Marco really needs to hold on here, play a really tough game.
You know, I think Marco has to take the same advice that Marcos would take, which would be really step in a little bit on that return instead of just getting it back. It's just a missed opportunity because both. It looks like he tried to do that there and sailed long a little bit.
And that's game. The score is 5-4. Valdez 6-5. I'm watching. Yes. 6-5 Valdez. On serve, which has meant nothing this match.
Literally nothing.
Literally nothing. We have the open players and the B players playing on the clay this weekend. Fun draw party last night, no?
It was a fun draw party. I was held at the Duplex Diner or Cafe.
It was a cafe, yeah. But I think it was a homosexual establishment.
I think it may have been.
We went out for a brief cocktail last night at a local neighborhood bar.
A nightcap, if you will.
A nightcap. Our friends and I and Jake, we all were in bed by midnight, though.
I like that I wasn't included into that broad umbrella. Friends.
My friends and I. Jake also came.
Jake tagged along.
It's always good to have travel buddies. Jake and I have played tournaments a lot together, so we've established that we are good travel partners. It's good to find a good group of friends that don't snore, although Jake does snore like a train, but I'm also a very sound sleeper.
All those snoring trains out there. All right, Marco serving 5-6. Opening set.
Great shot.
Marco has a great overhead. I don't think he's missed it. once.
I really like
really consistent.
Valdez's calm demeanor on the court too. I tend to get a little more riled up. I kind of like how balanced he is right now. This is a huge game for him, and you haven't really seen much emotion from him so far, but it also seems like he's fully in control.
Maybe just a little general annoyance at people and the atmosphere here, but I think it's really frustrating right now to play. So the fact that he's shown so little is pretty impressive.
Because of the wind?
The wind and people running through his court and people screaming next to him. So that's been a consistent problem for Marco, is that forehand sailing long when he's standing on the north side of this court.
He just said the wind, so I think that's. It may not be how he hits the ball, but it's the interpretation of the ball that's coming back to him as probably affecting him. 15 all?
Yes, 15 all. And that sails line, that's a heartbreaking shot. He was in control at that point the entire time, and the wind really wreaked havoc on the ball that Valdez hit up into the air. The sort of looper shot that looked like it was going long and then stopped at the service line.
It did. 15-30.
Got shirtless boys walking around behind us, and people listening to Britney Spears.
That's what's fun about these tournaments, you know? It's the art of being yourself.
Real gay. Be as gay as you want to be. Again with the long forehand.
We have a double set point here. First set point of the match. Valdez, if we remember, started out love 3 and is now looking at his first set point.
You know, it is this time where it gets tricky. Oh, and it's this point where it gets tricky because you don't know that you should win the match to begin with if you're Marco, playing the top seed, and you get ahead and then the person gets back, and then all of a sudden you're losing 6-5 when you were up 4-2, and
I think that's where the term clutch comes in, you know, when you gotta seize the opportunity. If you're ahead and so we're still at a set point here.
goes into net, and kind of out of nowhere, Valdez sneaks away the first set, 7-5. A little surprising given what's been going on.
Oh, I don't think it's that surprising. He's a top seed. I think he knew that he needed to settle down, and once he figured out that Marco was going to not really go for winners, I think he knew what he had to do and be the more consistent player, and that's what he's done with a little more deeper balls and a little more ball movement from court to court. But great first set from both players. Very impressive. We're going to take a very quick break. Everyone grab some bagels. Or is it lunchtime? Yeah. Well, grab a nice latte.
The Cuban food is not here yet.
No, everyone at home. Everyone at their living rooms. Don't go away. We're going to
have a Nescafe.
Yum. We'll be right back with action live from the 2013 Capital Classic. You're watching CCE Sports Network. And we're back live. Jake, what do you think Marco has to do this second set to put a dent in this match?
I think if he doesn't get a pinch more aggressive, that
a pinch more,
a lot more aggressive. Let's be frank. I think if he aggressive here, Valdez is just going to run away with it. I think he's starting to play out a little more. I think he's starting to find his range and that forehand is really killing Marco. On this side, he's hitting it long pretty much every time. That's how he's losing the points. And Valdez is just plugging away. Pretty much just not making any mistakes, moving the ball around. as he double faults.
Such a jinx.
I'm still curious to know what his sponsor is here. What shirt he's wearing.
I think it's Sergio Ticini.
Really? He's still alive?
I think it's not Alessi. So I think it's
that forehand again goes long.
You're right. I think it's the forehand that's been.
But it's kind of a good mistake in a way because he's trying to be aggressive and get the ball deeper. He thinks so. The instinct is right, but that backhand goes into the net.
Where we didn't see very many errors from Egoavil in the first set, which brought him that 2-break lead to start the match. We're starting to see just a few unforced errors creep in. This is where he needs to really hunker down and try and get those deep balls in like the first set were.
Usually you would feel okay with those kinds of errors because you'd say, okay, he's trying to make something happen. He's trying to win aggressively rather than just sitting on the court and letting things be done to him.
Yeah.
He's trying to become more of a top out there. Oh, sand just came into my eye from the court.
Was it really sand?
Clay. Sand from the desert. With no oasis.
I think if Valdez can escape this match.
Kitty litter, as it were.
Oh, kitty litter, yes. I'm so glad we have so many people listening and watching this great broadcast from CCE Sports Network, where diversity lives. If you're watching online at glta.net, or if you're on our website right now at www.ccesportsnetwork.com, we are raising funds for our next tournaments, bringing you live action. We're hoping to raise enough funds to go to the Fleur de Lis in New Orleans and the Hutex in Houston, Texas. Both great tournaments that I've played. We're looking for donations. $5, $10, $15.
$5,000.
$5,000. That can bring a lot of broadcasts for the future. We really appreciate any donations that can come our way.
We only have maybe 5 more left for the year. Indy Classic in Indianapolis is a question mark still. We don't know if we have the funding for that. Hutech is confirmed. Las Vegas is probably confirmed. And then Circle City Volleyball Festival in October is coming up as well. And then that pretty much does it for us for 2012. And then we have an awesome, or 13, excuse me. And then we have an awesome setup for next year.
So soak it up while we can. Make sure you're watching all weekend long. We'll be broadcasting live up until the finals on Sunday. We're just getting started. The engines are revving. It's first round action here. It's the second set. We still haven't even played first round matches, so we're still in good spirits. You see lots of positivity in our voices.
Yeah, let's go.
Yay! First round matches.
usually when we field questions about people who are wondering what the hell those two queens are doing with microphones standing next to the tennis courts talking like people actually care.
We're Mary Jo Fernandez and Mary Carrillo.
And all you listeners out there are proof of that.
Anyone out there has ever wanted to commentate a tennis match, it's always been a fantasy of mine. If you donate and you're going to any of those tournaments, you can sit right alongside Thomas in the booth, call the match. It's kind of a great little fantasy, you know? We've been at the U.S. Open all week, so...
I tell you what, we started this in the Clay Court Classic in Fort Lauderdale. The tournament director, Philip Sokolov, it was his idea. He just grabbed some people, threw them in the booth and said, you guys got to guest commentate. And it has just taken off. People just love having you guys and just different perspectives and the funniness and me not being always so serious. So
You're good. You're the Dick Enberg, you know? You have to.
There has
We
to
need
be
a
a
Dick
Dick
Enberg. We need a
Enberg.
Dick.
Right,
We
yeah.
always need a Dick.
Everybody need a dick. Marco needs something here.
Maybe a dick.
Because he is, the floodgates have sort of opened here. And, just everything is going right all of a sudden for Valdez, and he's hitting winners.
I think he's found his niche right now. Don't count Marco out. You know, he has the game to trouble people. If Marco starts
Yeah, and it's kind of, the wheels are falling off a little bit here.
Oof. Tough point there. It's a really nice deep ball from Egoavil.
So now we have to deal with wind and low-flying planes.
I told you, it's like the U.S. Open out here. This is our
It
Masters
kind
Series.
of. You can pretend it is, at least. Except that you're playing on clay.
The U.S. Open used to be on clay.
What?
In Forest Hills.
It was not on clay, it was on grass.
Maybe you're right.
I don't think any American tennis player would allow that to happen.
My tennis history is not as it's not as great as I think it is.
Chrissy Ever's like, okay, sure.
Are you sure it wasn't on clay?
I'm pretty positive.
we'll ask the chat room, and they can
Yes.
confirm it for us.
And there's a really good forehand from Valdez.
If Valdez gets through this match, he's gotta like the the amount of balls that he's been able to hit to get into the tournament. It's always Egoavil's definitely challenged him throughout this entire first set.
Yeah, it's nice to have a really challenging opening round match, even if, definitely this isn't over yet, but you just kind of have this sense that Valdez is going to pull this match off right now based on the body language that's going on. He's getting a lot of balls in, and Marco is just hitting a lot out, making a lot of errors. Right. But you're right, it's good to get a lot of balls in and play a longer match.
There's a lot of players like myself who feel they need a lot of practice just up into the last minute. We took the court twice yesterday. We came up a little early, Jake and I, and got on the court in the morning, played a little doubles yesterday. It got rained out, but we got a sense of the court and the feel. I think
well, and talk a little bit about that. How do you think that's important to get in a day early and warm up, or do you think players can come in cold start and just hit the court, do their normal warm up, and then go?
I think for both. I think this type of weekend is conducive to hanging out with your friends and having a good time. You can make these tournaments whatever you like. We have all levels of competitiveness, and I'm just an extremely competitive person, and I know myself, and feeling confident in my game, I like to really be on court and feel the court, know what the conditions are like. I've never played on this particular court before, so I think that's going to help me a little bit in my mindset today, just to know a little bit of what the ball is going to bounce like. And
it's a little impractical, though, for most people, I think, to get here a full day early. Every time you play, you have to take a lot of time off of work to play these tournaments to begin with, and it's tough to do that. But if you can, it's obviously really helpful. A lot of times, too, if you've played the tournament in the past, you kind of know what to expect. With these courts, I think, especially the clay courts, aren't the highest quality courts that I've ever played on. not to be too mean about the clay courts, but the hard courts are definitely nicer here than the clay.
It's definitely a different feel. It's they're very well maintained. It looks like the rain really helped us out today and last night to get a good.
And for some of our viewers who might be watching who don't normally watch GLTA tennis, majority of these players do have full-time jobs, and coming out and playing tennis is something that they do on the weekends and when they can take the time off. So they are juggling their professional careers and then coming out and doing the sport that they enjoy doing.
Absolutely. That's what's fun about these. You get to escape your real life and go away for the weekend and get to come to a great city with your friends and play tennis all weekend.
And then if you're like me, you get to drive all over the country, sitting here just broadcasting it and spending all my days in a car driving.
But that's your passion. Look at how much you love. Like, you drive everywhere just to do this for us. And again, sincere thanks to Thomas and his crew for all the great action that everyone's listening and watching right now. Very high quality.
Well, we're trying to build a little vision here, and it's starting slow, but I kid people when I say we want to be a little mini ESPN. We're trying to get there, so hopefully we can. Steve Petronic saying hello in the booth. He's another open player.
It's the first day. It's a meet and mingle here. You get to see all the players you haven't really seen for everywhere. I've been playing these tournaments for a very long time, and that's what keeps bringing me back. It's the players on tour. It's the excitement like this. It's always a guaranteed fun weekend. The GLTA is partners with lots of LGBT charities all over the world. If you don't know much about the organization, please join us at www.glta.net. You can learn a little bit about the tournaments that are coming up to you. I know Thomas mentioned some of the tournaments he's going to be broadcasting from live, but there's many other tournaments on our schedule that
64.
It's a good even number. Most of them are over holiday weekends, so we can escape and jump out of your city and take a look at the tour schedule when you get a moment.
Well, I tell you what, our goal coming up in the next couple of years, out of those 64 tournaments, we want to cover at least a third of them, at least 20 of them. So that's where we're kind of headed for the tennis side. There's other sports we want to do, but tennis is our flagship sport, so we definitely want to give all the tennis fans as much tennis as we possibly can.
That ball just died.
That's a good play on the clay. You know,
It really is. In these courts in particular, I think the ball dies with any amount of backspin on it. Slice is a really good shot on these particular clay courts.
And I've been corrected. The commissioner of the GLTA is watching the broadcast. We're up to 67 tournaments now.
Ooh.
Cologne has been added. There must have been 2 more that are added that I've missed. So now we're up to 67, not 64. Dan, tell me who the other 2 there came on board since the last time we broadcast. And I'll let everybody know who the other 2 are in a moment. I love Germany. It's good to see that folks in Germany added a tournament.
Right on the line. Going for the drop shot.
It's a really good play. You know, he's kind of throwing everything at Marco.
Well, it just shows Valdez's variety. I think
Right.
that's another great attribute to his game. I think you can see the way he places the ball, the differences in the slice to the top spin. He also can drop shot. We've seen him volley a little bit. We've seen him, hit a winner when he needs to. I think that's all the great components of a good top seed. We'll definitely follow his progress throughout the tournament. If he
I'm sure you'll be
continues to win this
particularly interested
I'll
in
be
his
keeping
progress.
active interest in his
John is on the bottom half of the draw, and he's the second seed, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast. And he's been a little on edge about what Valdez might be.
I'm always on edge. I get nervous all the time. I'm a nervous player.
You've never seen him play before, and
No.
now you kind of know what to expect. How do you think he's going to challenge you whenever you play, if you play?
I'm not even thinking. I'm gonna do.
I don't
Serena.
look ahead in the draw.
I don't know who.
I just look at first match.
I look at first match play. Yeah, I have a tough first round in a moment, so I'm gonna focus on that right now.
Well, I know if I play him, I'm screwed. He's just is really consistent. And I think he got the nerves out at the beginning of this first set, and now he's just sort of.
Yeah, no one wants to play a player like Valdez. This is like
John Bobby in the chat room says, just blast the ball past him like you always do.
Thank you, Bobby. It's deceptive watching him, on live right now. It's, there's an error right there, but we haven't seen very many. Once he gets into a rhythm, it seems like it's tough. But you see so many good players out here. That's the beauty. Everyone has a different style, a different.
You got a frustration there.
Little questioning of the serve. We're gonna go to second serve now.
Yeah, no instant replay. Not right now, at least. Maybe in the future.
That's that forehand again. It goes long. I'm really frustrated here from Marco. Surprising that these players aren't calling the score. I haven't heard one person call the score.
Whoa!
It's a great shot.
We see that massive ground stroke that Egoavil hits. It's
He gets a break back, and
he does. Scores 4-1, Valdez in the second set.
so it's an uphill battle here, but it's nice that he hasn't really given in yet. Valdez, he's just ready to go, ready to play. Get back out there.
All business for our top seed. And we're back. It's first round action here at the 2013 Capital Classic. It's the 21st edition of this tournament in Washington, D.C. I'm John Garica alongside Thomas in the booth, Jake Bishop. We're watching second set action of the top seed Marcos Valdez play Marco Egoavil from New York City. On a beautiful Friday afternoon, a little breezy. We had some passing showers this morning.
Right now it's really beautiful. A little windy. Definitely windy, but...
A little windy, a little sunny. I'd much rather play overcast. Second serve.
That's a double fault.
He hasn't hit too many double faults. He doesn't...
No, but, it tends to be in these pressure situations. He'll hit a double or... It's
Thanks.
Well, that wasn't very professional, though.
Thanks. It's love 15.
Love 15 here. That was a good serve. Great, a winner. Forehand winner. That one stayed in, and it's really strange. On this side of the court, his forehand he's not really struggling with it as much as on the other side where the wind is taking it and carrying it long.
Just to let you guys know, I promise you, Dan was going to give me the new tournaments that came online. Poland had their very first event. New events this year were Hamburg, Cologne, Spain, Brussels, Copenhagen, Sitkes. I don't know how to pronounce that. Sitges. And Dan promises bigger and better in 2014. Dan Merrithew, the commissioner of the GLTA. Cincinnati took off this year, but they're going to be back in 2014.
It's 30-15. Egoavil serving 1-4 in the second set. We're looking at a second serve. All right, we're looking at 40-15. Egoavil hasn't held serve since the first game of the match. His first service game.
Well, he held for 4-2 in the first set.
Really?
He did. Stupid.
2. That's good. This could be 3, and there we go.
That's a backhand.
Third time's the charm. Good service game from Egoavil.
It's just one break. That's one thing I think Marco needs to remember as he's playing this. I mean, he's also plays pretty well from behind. Not that we've seen it too much from here, but
that's big. I mean, it's 2 straight games. I think this is
definitely a momentum shift. Closing out a match can be difficult anyway.
Let's see how Valdez plays under pressure.
Goes just wide. Love 15. Yeah, after you've won the first set and you're up in the 4s, it's 4 or 5 game range into the second set after winning the first. It's tough. That's a great shot.
Yeah, fantastic.
But it's tough. You want to close it out. You feel the pressure. You don't really know if you should just wait for them to make a mistake or you should just continue the game that you're playing.
If you're watching this match, we definitely love your comments. They keep coming. We have a comment right now that Marco is putting some more height on the ball, which has been in his favor.
Well, but he was actually running into too much problem, putting too much height on it. It's kind of how he, in the first set, lost it. But now he's definitely a controlled aggression as it goes, putting a little more height on the ball over the net, as opposed to just playing defensively and lobbing the ball up, which is what he was doing in the first set.
Dan tells us that Marcos only lost one set in his GLTA singles career. Wait until he meets John. No pressure. No pressure.
There's actually, this tournament is fantastic. Again, I've been playing these for a long time, and I can't remember. It's a 32 draw for the open players, and we have some fantastic players from all over the world that are here. As our top seed, Marco is showing his talents. We have a player in the open draw that has actually played a couple futures tournaments. Steve Petranek has won numerous open titles. This is a big draw. So.
And then there's me,
the old
John
veteran.
Garika.
The old veteran. Clay's my kryptonite.
It is your worst surface, that's for sure.
But this tournament drew me here for not just the clay, but for the friends in the city.
Cuban food on Friday afternoon,
and for the CCE Sports Network.
One of our big supporters, and on our donation list. Can't remember, although you've been knocked down a spot a few, so
I'll make sure I jump back on it.
David here, David Livesey is in the #1 spot.
Can we take a look at this? We're on a court change. Can we take a look at our?
We sure can.
At our sponsors while we take a quick break at 5-2 Valdez in the second set.
So these
donations are what keep us going.
And these are our top 5 leaders. David is #1. We had a swimming athlete, Stephen Palmer, jump on there at #3. See, you're not even on the list.
I'm not. David Livesey, he came on the top of the leaderboard in April. So everyone listening out there, we gotta make this happen. I'm sure David loves being #1, but we need to make sure that this changes this weekend. So if you're out there listening, make sure you donate. And
John will start pretending that this is like a telethon.
Yes, I will sing. We'll do
sing variety shows. He'll dance to Love Shack.
If you want to throw out some comments in there, anything you want to hear, some old jazz standards, we can do some Broadway.
He's got really good jazz fingers.
I've been practicing
really
applause. Good. I'm going to do it for the banquet this year. I have a whole choreographed routine.
He does tend to recycle dance moves, so if you miss it this time, I'm sure you'll see it again.
Says the white robot. But that's fine. No judgment.
I had a couple of really good moves last night. You can not deny that.
We're at 2-5 in the second set. Valdez is looking to close this out.
Forehand, another one long. He's trying to do the right thing with it and be aggressive, but it's something about this side. It's just floating on him.
And Bobby Sharp says, "Just don't dance, John."
Deal. But if I win my first round match, I'm gonna Petkovic on the court. I'm gonna do the twerk and shuffle.
I would love to see Petkovic twerk. She has to win a match first. She hasn't won a match in a while, but and you see him there trying to do a little adjustment, knowing that he's missing it long, and tries to get it a little lower over the net to keep it into the court, but then it goes into the net, so it's difficult. He's trying to find the right balance, and it's not happening.
Footwork is key to tennis anyway. I think that's something that I've worked on my entire life, but I think on clay especially, it's the sliding, it's the footwork. I think he ran into that ball at that last point.
Love 30 here. Stays in. It's a let called. Love 30 here. Marco trying to stay in the set and make Valdez serve for it. Fault there, second serve. That was tough. That ball just died on the court, and it's match point.
You got to have a lot of confidence to hit that point at that shot, or that shot at that point rather. It's it brings us up to our first match point. You think we see it again?
Oh, a double on match point. It's the worst way to end a match. But it's a really good match, 7-5, 6-2. But he kind of went away in the second set here. But the first set was great. It was a very, very tight, competitive first set.
solid play from both players. I think we have a taste of what the top seed's going to bring to the tournament, and he moves on to the next round of the 2013 Capital Classic here in Washington, D.C. Thank you all for watching this round. Stay tuned for our next match. Thomas will bring you more action. I'm going to go stretch.
Yeah, we have to get on court here.
We're going to go get on court.
Signing off, this is Jake Bishop. Thanks for listening.
Bye, everybody. Have a great day.
John and Jake may join us later on in the day. Good luck, guys, on your matches. Congratulations go to number 1 seed Marco Valdez. He wins 7-5, 6-2. You're watching the 21st Annual Capital Classic Tennis Tournament, presented by the Brandon Green Companies and brought to you by the CC Sports Network, where diversity lives. Don't go anywhere. We have more great tennis in store for you coming up in a moment.